Historical night at the races. If we could have our guys that we're going to induct into the Hall of Fame come down. John Hagan, Marvin Dale Smith, Tom Nichols, Larry Woody, Brett Endicott, Rick Hensley, Herb Hill, Don Cook's family. This is one of our drivers from Medford that used to come up here all through the 70s and 80s and into the 90s. First saw him here in a little Matchbox Nova, and then he ran a 6-cylinder Nova that was really one of the fastest 6-cylinder cars that I've ever seen race against the V8 cars. I saw him roll his car in Medford one time at a big race, and he told his crew, "Get it going, boys. It's never gone like this before," when he pulled it back in the pit. Our first Hall of Fame for 2013, Rick Hensley from Medford. Rick the Animal Hensley.
Thank you. I know it's probably, for a lot of you, it's hard to believe, but I got in my first race car in 1968 when I was 14 years old. And it was a buddy of mine that lived across the street. Pittman's raced in Klamath Falls, and I've raced all over the Northwest. It's amazing when you think about it, how small, how many tracks I've raced on. One of the things that happened here, as some of the older people might remember, I was racing that Nova he was talking about, the 6-cylinder in it. On the back straightaway it blew up, and the only thing you could see was the wing and the nose of the car, and the rest of the car was engulfed in flames because it just erupted. But I've had a good time in my career and stuff, and it was always fun, and I wish to practice. I always had a good time at this racetrack, and it was always fun to race here. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Rick Hensley. Okay, so our next driver, guess I've helped a lot of guys over the years, and it seems like their third year of driving is always their very best, or it's where they blossom. And as far as I know, the third year I saw John Hagan running at Cottage Grove, hardly anybody could beat him.
Yeah, you know, it's 34 years ago. That makes us really old.
Yeah.
So I wasn't as lucky as Rick. I was 25 when I started racing. This track really changed my life. I met my wife here, standing right there. My daughter's standing right there. And my son didn't make it tonight, but you know, when I first started racing, the guys to beat was Jay Buckley and Robert Hand, Deatherage in Hand. I don't know if you know that name or not, but they were pretty good. And so it was my third year that I got my first track championship. And then in '82, I should have got it, but I left the track and they made it double points. Deatherage and Hand were there to pick it up for me. And in '83, I won it again. In '84, I was log trucking, didn't have time to race much, so. But we had fun.
John Hagan. Okay. So this next guy, probably didn't win a lot of A-mains or anything, but he won more friends than anybody I know. And if you go to his store, he's a genius in parts, and he helps people out all the time. He's one of our drivers that brought his daughter out here to race also, and just a great all-around racer and all-around supporter of the track. Tom Nichols.
Thanks, Denny. Like you said, I never won a lot of races out here, but I sure had a lot of fun.
I remember one race where it was the first race of the year. He blew them all away.
Got it on video.
Okay, so our next driver, I think maybe you could say in one way his career ended tragically when his sight was taken. He was another guy, probably didn't win a lot of races, but racing was his whole life, and it hasn't stopped being his whole life. He sponsors cars, he does all kinds of stuff, opens the shop to people, still loves racing, and it's his whole life. Larry Woody.
Thank you, Denny. I really appreciate what you guys have all done out here with all this, and thanks to all the fans for supporting the track for so many years. And I've got to give thanks to Tom Nichols as well. He's the one that's got me started back in this after years off. So once again, thanks to everybody, and I've had a blast doing it.
Okay, this is one of our pitmen. This is something we do every year, is we try to not only have the drivers and stuff, but we recognize the pitmen. And this guy, I've known him since he was about knee high, if you can believe that ever happened. But I think he started out wanting to help Joe Bond and Jay Bugby, and he's helped a lot of other guys since then. Him and Kelly McDonald did a fantastic paint job and body work on the sprint car that's hanging up over the walkway. Red Endicott.
I've been coming here since I was like 8 years old. My dad worked for Bond's Auto Wrecking. I worked on Joe Bond's Superstock, then Jay Bucky's, and I worked on many race cars, Kelly McDonald, every car he's ever driven I've worked on, and I'm now working on Tom Lane's Street Stocks. This is just a pleasure for me. I'd like to take it away.
All right. This next one is a guy that hasn't been around here for a long time, but the presence of his family's been felt here for about 20 years. He's my friend's granddad. He owned a modified, and he's done all kind of racing, and has left the love of it with his family, and that's something we recognize. John Cook is the car owner, and Mike Wickert is his grandson.
Thanks very much. I just found the photos here not too long ago of this car, and I haven't seen them. And now I just found out tonight who built the car, and I've got photos of it being raced in a Hartsville 65. So it's going to be kind of cool to see what other photos I can find of the car. So thank you.
All right. So last but not least here, we've got a guy that didn't show. One of those third-year blossoming drivers, Herb Hill. And then this is my favorite one of this year. I started out pitting on a car in 1976 for Lowell Smith, and I got to meet Marvin Dale then. One of my favorite pictures of them is on the display back there, and they're about 8 years old in their baseball uniforms. And I really told Marvin and Dale both, when they started running together a couple years, I really enjoyed seeing them work together instead of trying to beat each other. But they provided so many years of entertaining racing here. If you notice, I don't think it's an accident that Danny Horner has 75 on his car. He was inspired by Dale. And he hung around with Marv, and these guys have made a huge difference in this track throughout the years, and I'm very proud to honor Marvin and Dale Smith.
Thank you, everybody that's been a fan and came out and supported us. Appreciate all the sponsorship I had through the years, and everybody that helped on the car. Various pit guys, and they all work for nothing, and all you can do is buy them dinner in a motel room once in a while. But I'd like to thank my family for sticking with me through everything. And I really had a lot of fun racing with my brother the last couple of years, and it's been a big part of my life, and I just appreciate it.
Funny how things come full circle. Me and my brother raced each other since we were little tiny kids, and we pulled each other around. One of us would be on a motorcycle, and the other one would be on a pedal car. We'd pull each other around and round and round. try to crash each other and whatever else we could do. Then we went competing with each other, and I think we put on a couple good shows out here, and we really appreciate you guys for being here, for watching us, and for what we got to do. And I want to say thanks. My crew showed up tonight. Brandon Rux, Donnie Simons, Jesse Bonington, Eric Simons, Craig Simons. Really appreciate you guys. My mom's up in the stands. My sister Shannon's up in the stands. And a good friend of mine, DT's up there supporting us. And longtime sponsor and really good friend, Larry Horner. The Horners, how can you beat those guys? Anyway, there's way too many people here to say thanks to. The love of my life, Brenda. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting us. And who knows? Maybe we'll put it back out here someday. But we sure had fun. Thanks everybody. And I'm glad that me and my brother can do this.
Thanks, guys. That means a lot. Give them a big hand. Arlingdale. And here's one of our caution drivers. This is Ron Peters. He's going to be handing out his pictures.
Hi folks, I've been racing for like 40 some years. At one time I had 5 track championships at one summer, dirt tracks. We ran with a posse all over the states. We ran here for about 4 years. And that's about it. Like I said, I'm not much of a talker. I have some pictures to hand out, and that's about it.
Okay. Thank you to the SRAM family for letting us have Historical Night at the Races for our 11th annual show. Thanks for everybody for showing up for the Hall of Fame. Thanks for everybody for showing up for Historical Night at the Races. Let's go!